Yeah.
Cool.
And it's not something you hear every day, but barometric pressure, what pushes on the mercury is the water vapor in the air. Your barometric pressure is a reading of how much vapor there is in the air.
Humidity.
Yep. Humidity. Another word for it. Yeah.
Wait, are you saying humidity and pressure are the same thing?
Humidity and water vapor pressure are the same thing as what was it. Well, humidity is a percentage of water in the air. I'm going to say like humidity is 80% or 40%. You know,
there's a whole scale for the vapor pressure of water in the air, and they need it for the weather. It's the end of the story. Go look up the scale for vapor pressure, and you'll see how it relates to the air and to barometers. They're joined at the hip.
Yeah.
Air pressure, the water content of the air are directly related. Inversely.
Okay, can I go for another question which is very similar, but I wanted to know a little something about it. So, what's the difference between mass and weight?
Oh man.
Well, I always say the same thing. Don't use weight, use mass. They always tell us if you want to lose weight, you go to the moon, right? You weigh 1/6 your mass, right? Well, your mass doesn't change when you go to the moon. Your mass doesn't change anywhere, right? Your weight can, apparently, but your mass won't. So, just try to apply certain standards. Everybody talks about density. Well, the density isn't in the formula for the mass to volume relationship. But yet, people don't want to look at the science of volumetrics and how mass and volume relate, and they want to throw in an erroneous word to use as liberally as is being done.
No, but
density, and worse to throw in relative density. But I'll shut up now.
But then isn't that something that Einstein gave an explanation to? According to Einstein's theory, even mass can change when you're traveling at a very high speed.
Look, as soon as I see that idiot travel at a high speed and prove his theories, you can bring him up to me again. As soon as you can prove there's more gravity at my freaking ankles than at my ears when I'm standing up, I'll be happy to entertain some of that bullshit. Until then, fuck Einstein.
I'm just saying that this is what Globers bring up when you get into the discussion. And when you say that I'm not taking this bullshit, they think
they're
that
free
you're
to think what they want.
Oh, come on, bro. Don't overtalk him. Come on, Jimbo. Let's hear what he's got to say.
No, that is what they say when you get out of the discussion saying that it's all bullshit. According to them, you're not able to defend your position, or maybe you're not able to come up with an explanation against Einstein's explanation. So it's
not an explanation, it's a theory. It's not an explanation of anything.
No, but again, it was a theory according to the mainstream science, according to Globers. It was a theory when he proposed it, but after some time they found evidences for it via gravitational
Doctors used to recommend eating mercury too, and that it was therapeutic and beneficial for people. You know what I'm saying? How many times have so-called science and scientists been wrong? Many, many. Even today, calling astrophysics and all this cosmos, they're saying scientists made discoveries about Mars and scientists discovered 20. Astrophysics is not science.
Do you remember in the 60s when they used to tell us that smoking cigarettes was good for your health?
Dude, I was just thinking about that actually. Weird.
No, but things like the speed of light.
Well, if you
They
want
say
to
that.
follow these leaders, eat some mercury.
Come on, Jimbo. That's twice you cut
I'm
him off,
sorry.
bro.
Yeah, Jimbo, all he's trying to do is, go up against a Glober effectively, is I think what he's after.
Yep. So I would give another example. They claim to have experimentally determined the speed of light and that it is not affected by any other motion. You cannot change the speed of light in vacuum, according to them. And that is why what they have scientific experiments within air quotes to prove. Right. So how can you go against a glober when he comes up with such arguments? That's exactly what I wanted to know. What can
What's
you do?
proved at airports? I don't quite get what you're saying.
So
Please elaborate.
they experimentally have proved the speed of light is constant.
Okay, is it
Oh,
constant through
really?
glass? How about through atmosphere? How about through water?
No,
The
it's
the speed.
constant in vacuum.
Okay, so what varies the speed of light? The medium. So how's it constant?
In vacuum, it is constant.
Okay,
They're
but where does
supposedly
the
there.
vacuum exist in nature? Where did they naturally observe this?
Which would be the beginning of the scientific method, observing natural phenomena.
So yeah, you can say that light has constant speed in a vacuum, but you can't say light has a constant speed. That's called a half-truth, right? That's lie
No,
by
see what?
omission, right?
Yes. So what we are trying to see here is that whether in the same medium, let's say the medium is vacuum, where there is nothing. So nothing is the medium, right? So in that medium, when we measure the speed of light, when it is when the source is constant or stationary, as against when the source is moving at a certain speed, in both these cases, the speed of light is constant. So the medium is not changing, but the speed of light is still constant. And this is what they claim to have scientifically determined via measurements or any other thing, whether it follows the scientific method or not. But this is something that they claim to have done.
Okay, so what does it prove?
This setup, when they tested these two things,
Uh-huh.
and the speed was found to be constant.
Does that prove we're living on a spinning fucking ball, bro?
Oh,
No,
not
not at all.
you, Mac.
Not at all. But that is what Einstein's science is based upon. He claims that speed of light is constant. If it is not, then his whole theory falls apart.
Do you know I have a little theory of myself to do with to deal with mainstream science?
It may be imagination. I know that it is pure imagination, but Globers don't understand that.
Well, I got a theory that the vice president is the real president and the so-called president of the United States is the walking target, like the double Padme effect. If you remember episode 1 in Star Wars, Padme was really the handmaiden servant girl. That was Queen
Thankfully,
Amidala. And Queen Amidala was the decoy, remember?
thankfully, I'm free of all that bullshit here in India. I'm not a fan of Star Wars.
I love the brutal honesty. Yeah, anybody can have a theory. So the sky is blue, so therefore the president's really the decoy. I'm basing it off of, something that's true. The second part has to be true also, right?
Hmm.
So things fall to the ground, therefore bendy warpy space-time.
You know what? I interview students to prepare them for their colleges, and being a flat earther deep inside, although my students don't know that, but my favorite questions are whenever I get a science student, I always ask them, what's gravity? How would you explain that to a 10-year-old or 12-year-old? And my other faculty members here, when I talk to them, I tell them why this is my best question, because I want to know it from the perspective of a person, how that person explains something that according to me doesn't exist, which is why it is so interesting
That's
to
crafty,
know
bro.
from them.
You are crafty.
Yep. I'll talk about climate change. I talk about a lot of other things in those interviews, but then the students don't know that I'm a flat earther.
Hats off. Well done,
Well,
bro.
I long for the day when you can be open about it in your business without having to worry about getting blackballed. I think
Yeah.
this
Yeah,
way of
Yeah,
doing things that we're doing it now is archaic. Go ahead.
I had to take a stand when it comes to wearing a mask. I was asked to because I teach a number of students. It is a classroom of 25 to 30 students, and then I teach all of them. And all the students at one point in time were wearing masks, but I had to make it a point to not wear it for a single time, for a single second. Although I was asked to, but I just ignored it. And I mean, my employer is also knows that I'm a flat earther and I don't believe in all this COVID bullshit. But then he asks me to comply, but I have refused so far, and it's fine.
you're not
Nothing
gonna last
happened.
very long, bro. Here's the thing, right? Today in Western society, you cannot go into a shop and buy food unless you wear a mask. You have no choice. This is the thing. It's like a mind control.
I know I have had that discussion with other employees, my colleagues, and my employer as well. That today it is just a question of wearing a mask, but tomorrow, and that day has come, by the way.
Yep.
That when we are, so I told him that tomorrow when you ask me to get vaccinated so that I can enter this premise, it is not going to happen. So when I'm
Yeah.
going to put my foot down, then it's better to do it right now. I'm not even going to wear a mask.
You're right. You're right there. You're right there. But this is the way it's going, right? People were saying, like, listen, it's only a matter of time before um, you won't be able to travel unless you have a vaccine passport.
Yeah,
To,
man,
to
that's
buy
crazy.
food.
It's
This is the
really
yeah, you know, and this is all because of a virus that started in China, that came over to the UK or the Western society, that is a little bit more, little bit more deadly than the flu. But not, it's kind of now suddenly you can't travel unless you have a vaccine passport. You can't buy food unless you have a vaccine stamp. I mean, what the fuck, bro? The
Hey,
world's
tell me
going.
about it, man. My elder brother is a doctor in a government hospital, and he had to get vaccinated because the frontline workers and the healthcare workers are the first ones to get the vaccine.
Yeah, this miracle vaccine that came out of nowhere after a year of research. Suddenly, everybody needs to get a vaccine into their bodies. Really? It's only been like a year, not even a year. It hasn't even been fucking human tested yet, but you have to get the vaccine. I mean, what the fuck? What the fuck's in it, bro? Compliance.
Thankfully, many others around me have changed their mind about the vaccine.
Yeah.
Yeah. People that have formerly believed in vaccines and taken vaccines, they're definitely starting to open up their eyes. Yeah, I would agree
Correct.
with that. Yeah. Thank goodness.
I mean, Bill Gates' new book out. I heard it advertised on the radio. His new authoritative book on about how to go through a pandemic, right? Holy shit, bro! And I opened the paper the other day, and now they're talking about a 75% increase in a virulent disease that comes from bats. That the next pandemic I said to people, well, you know what? Either it's going to get a next pandemic or something, but now suddenly, no, that'll never happen. Suddenly, there is. It's in the news. It's out there. There's going to be another pandemic. It's even more deadly than the COVID virus.
It's the rising speed of helium.
Fucking crazy, man. And everybody's walking around. They're driving around with fucking masks on. They're all fucking so fucking scared of death.
Trick or treat.
Wear your mask.
What's the rising rate of helium? What's the time?
1.23.7 minus 4 divided by 6. I don't know what happened to the world, bro, but something went fucking haywire about fucking 2 years ago. Everything just went fucking doolally. Everybody's living in fucking la la land. It's like, what? What the fuck?
It's the best time to be a flat earther. I became one something like 3 years ago.
Sorry, go ahead. Sorry.
So I became one something like more than 3 years ago. But I could make sense out of whatever's happening in this world only because I'm a flat earther. I owe a lot to it.
Well, here's my theory. The flat Earth was grabbing too much fucking. It was getting too much traction. People were starting to pay notice too much to the biggest lie in history that they had to make something up. This is the whole reason for this vaccine shit. The whole reason why people are wearing masks and staying at home, living in fucking Groundhog Day, day after day, because the truth was gaining too much traction. Now they have to fucking separate us. They have to isolate people. That's the reason why it's happening. This is my theory.
You're absolutely right. That's exactly my deduction as well. We were killing it. We were exposing the truth, and they had to silence it.
Exactly.
They can't get enough rockets and satellites and rovers to Mars quick enough, can they now?
Yeah, because if you destroy space and you destroy the spinning ball and you destroy a water globe, you destroy.
There's an onslaught of a revolution. Humanity will be uproared. Humanity will be in uproar if they ever find out that they're living on a flat plane and it was never spinning. Humanity will be in an uproar. Come on.
It will happen anyways.
It should be.
It will happen anyways.
Yeah, it's going to happen.
It's not a matter of if, but when.
Yeah. We're on our way. We are the people starting it. We're the ones starting it now.
Yep. Was it back in 2015 when it was really gaining traction and was actually allowed on YouTube, right?
Yeah, it's still getting traction. Don't get me wrong. It's still getting traction.
Yeah, definitely.
Still getting traction.
Definitely. Back 5 years ago, couldn't you literally look up and it would almost promote maybe Eric Dubé videos and they'd have millions of views back in the day before it
Yeah.
Yeah, that's unfortunate to do that all now.
No, it's not unfortunate. Everything's still happening, as long as we all stick together, regardless of what Eric Dubé supposedly did, There's some controversy going on there, but I think it's taking away from the work that he has done. You know what I mean? All the good work that he's done. So you have to drop the negativity there, just promote the work, and that's that. And let everyone else choose for themselves whether he's a controversial person or not. But let's just try and keep unity in the family. That's the problem there. That's a problem there. People keep, pointing the finger out. The main point is get the message out. Doesn't matter what, just get that message out there. Stop fighting amongst ourselves. It's a setback, that is. Someone's calling me racist yesterday. How can I be? I cannot be a racist and be a black.
Why are they calling you a racist?
Somebody was yesterday anyway, you know what I mean? But the thing is, how can I be a racist? Married to a Japanese, got four or five boys now, right?
Anyone can be. I'm not trying to be argumentative, but anybody can be a racist.
Yeah, but I'm not a racist. if I'm married to a
Oh
Jap.
yeah, I'm not saying that, but you said, "How can I be a racist?"
Yeah, I'm talking about myself personally and my situation, and then being a flat earther. You know, they don't combine. They just don't combine. You can't be a flat earther and be a racist. You just can't. It just doesn't work.
That's right. I agree, Jinse BR, because
Yeah.
flat Earth is a benchmark that I have
Yeah.
set for myself. Because anyone being a flat earther makes sure of many other things.
Yeah, yeah. When you're a flat earther, you know, you're talking about unite. You want to unite humanity. You can't be a racist. You just cannot be.
Correct.
You're in the wrong club
Oh.
if that's the case.
I tell people this usually when I trust them a bit or